All right, so it's Friday. It's a little later than I'm normally on. It's June 19th. I'm here in Texas. It's my friend's birthday. A lot of stuff going on. Just got off a call with some family members of mine in Tulsa. So it's been an interesting go of it for sure. Just want to make sure my audio's correct. I've been having audio issues the past couple of weeks. Let's go back and let's verify that we are live with ourselves. Yeah, okay, we're live. Okay, I don't hear the bad echo, so we'll go ahead. All right, so what I'm working on tonight, I'm taking a break from the normal stuff. I got a bug I'm trying to fix in some functionality I just released. So I figured you guys could just come along for the ride, and that would be the easiest way for me to kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, this is my Corona beard and my Corona hair. Welcome to the party, Dan. It's it's and it's, the worst part is like I don't even have to have the beard. It's just so annoying. Why bother? I can't go anywhere. The only person who sees me is my wife. She thinks it's hilarious. So somebody's getting value out of it. That's what's important. Um, so okay, so yeah, so Dan, since you're here, I'll go ahead and tell you. So I recently added the that iDestructible interface to navigation. For the record, I was gonna try and use iDestroyable, but I actually polled a couple of other smart people, and they were like, "No, iDestructible sounds better." I even went and looked at the synonyms and acronyms, so I was just like, "Oh well, we're just gonna take it directly from Prism." Oh well. Hopefully, I do better than some other people that take your ideas. Anyway, so what I'm trying to fix is a problem directly in that, which has to do with. Okay, we're talking about the add stack and tick. So add to stack and tick on the page. So okay, so what he's saying is that when the value here is set to true, you know, I gotta give credit where credit's due. I'm not that kind of guy. So we have the exact same concern that we had to solve. We could have gone down a whole bunch of paths, but this one makes sense. Um, so it's funny that we would have the same problems to solve when abstracting the same thing. You think it'd be easy, right? Um, so so when this value is set to true, oh man, I could have called it a lot of things, but it's hard enough trying to explain why you need to destroy and not iDisposable to a lot of people. Like most people are just like, oh, well, you can just use iDisposable. Why do you need your own interface? And so like right now that we're talking about it, let's talk about it. The reason why this iDestructible interface works, and Dan and I had this conversation a while back. I was trying to figure out, and I realized what my problem was. I was creating memory leaks because I wasn't able to properly dispose of certain things at the point that I needed to in the life cycle. Yeah, exactly. So what it comes down to is iDisposable is a thing that interacts with garbage collection. Like I'm not gonna say that it calls garbage collection. Like and I'm tired, so forgive me. It's been a long it's been a long week, so I'm gonna butcher this. But long and short, iDisposable. You don't have as much control over when and where it executes. Like and really all you're doing when you do call iDisposable is notifying the garbage collector that it can come collect some garbage. So putting in a method that's closer to the life cycle of what you're doing, that you can dispose of things that will then later get garbage collected anyway, because when the iDisposable hits, it'll explicitly hit the GC. you're just kind of better off. So you get a interface that you control that is closer to the metal, as it were, and you can call it explicitly and make magic happen. So what you end up with is this extension point that you can, for in the reactive world, you can dispose of any of your composite disposables. So what I'm gonna do, I think what I'm gonna try and do, if I have my brain about me, is try and add a unit test that proves that this is broken, because that's what we're supposed to do as good developers, right? For the record, I do not consider myself a good developer. I consider myself a guy that hacks stuff together and makes it look good. Which I guess is really all development is anyway. Okay, so I've got a push with generic method that does stuff. Right? You write unit tests? Who does that? People that don't want bug reports. You still get bug reports anyway, right? You just can't you can't solve everything. You should call the view. So what is it? What? Okay, so this. I thought I explicitly put iDestructible tests. How did I do this? What did Rodney do? I probably did something stupid when call page pop. Okay, so. Okay. He's saying, but okay, what he's telling me is that the easiest way to solve it. So when I'm calling the reset, oh, I get it. Based on the way I'm constructing this stuff, this is where it's like it does not pay to be smart. Okay. Because of the way I'm resetting the list, I'm not actually popping anything off of the list. So when I remove the things from the list, I'm not actually invoking the destruction. So this is because of the way I'm managing my internal stack inside the application. This is a concern for people who know reactive UI and know Prism. This is a concern that Prism doesn't have because of the way Prism does navigation. It's actually doesn't have to keep its own internal state of a stack. It uses the Xamarin Forms navigation stack. Because I'm doing view model to view model navigation, I am keeping my own internal stack. Pardon me. So one of the things I'm considering doing is actually removing the internal stack, using the Xamarin Forms navigation stack, and just enforcing that you have an iView for, because I kind of do that anyway. And if you have an iView for the instance, I can just grab it off of the navigation stack and cast it and just cast the binding context, which in my mind alleviates my need to manage any internal state. Now, I'm sure there's drawbacks to that, but that's something that I'm truly considering, because managing, like, the whole point of RX is to manage less state, and here I am managing more state. So, obviously I'm doing it wrong. But this worked for when I built it, but now it's like probably need to move beyond that. So I need to figure out. I need to take. I need to take the old stack, and if reset it, I need to just go ahead and invoke the destroy method on all that stuff. So I need to do some type of, and I'm going to try and be smart, because stack. So then I would actually be doing this on push instead of, this is already going to make me upset that I have to do this way. I'm going to immediately start looking for a better way to do this. I'm going to fix the bug, but I'm going to find a better way to do this, because this does not make me happy. Destructible. Destroy. Don't tell me I can't do these things. What is, do I already have an X somewhere? Possible, no reference. Go gadget, no reference. That's just telling me what? That's Ryder telling me that it's smarter than me. Boxing allocation from T to object. Glad you're smarter than I am. Iterate via for each. I guess that's probably better. Oh, that's definitely not going to do what we wanted to do. So why would you suggest that? I'm so much smarter than you. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to try. Okay, so now I get what the test needs to do. Okay, so I'm actually going to now go write a failing test. And before I even try and verify this code, I'm going to try and write a failing test just because I want to get in that habit when I do certain things. So we're pushing. This has nothing to do with whether or not I have generics. So we don't want to test that. We want to test the lower level at the ViewStack service. And when we push, the push page method should clear navigation stack if reset. Okay, so then we basically want to do something similar here. So all right, so should call this is gonna get weird. Destroy if navigation stack resets or when. I don't know. When just feels verbose. So I'm going to push 3 pages, and then I guess I have to verify that I got 3 notifications. So here I've got a view that substitutes for iView. I don't know if that's right or not now, but we'll get to that. So we'll do var. How do we actually verify that though? Because like in that scenario, it's going to be a different view model, so we'd actually have to explicitly capture each view model going in. So for the moment, I'll just capture one. I'll just capture the last one. var last view model equals substitute destructible. All right, so we're just gonna put the last view model on the stack here. We're gonna push. Yeah, we're gonna push 2 pages. Then we're gonna do another wait. We're gonna do system test dot push page. We're gonna push the view model. Oh, can we cast it as that? Oh, I think I need that That's why I created that everything interface, huh? Everything. I am everything. Haha. I win. Okay, so I pushed that, and then I just need to verify that when all that junk happens, and I don't care about the page stack right now. I just want to verify that this dot destroy dot received dot destroy. This is why it helps to have people that use your library and tell you that it's broken, because I would not have found this for like another couple of weeks, because I'm not actively using it in any projects for like my day job, but I know people that are. So should call destroy. Just gonna go do a whole bunch of building. Oh, I feel almost like I should move myself over. Okay, I'm gonna pause because somebody's ringing my doorbell. I apologize. I apologize. My wife's friend just rang the doorbell, and I didn't even realize my wife had come home. So, all right, here we go. Um. Okay, so it does not call the received. So now, if I go back over here into my view stack service base and undo the thing, and I'm actually probably going to change that to a for each because I feel like that select is one less performant and two going to cause ridiculous issues because I've done that before. I've done like select out and I've done like async stuff, and sometimes it just breaks. Okay, so it still doesn't receive the call. If reset, so I should be able to debug this, and when the reset happens, I will get. Oh, I think I know why. Rodney thinks he knows what he did wrong. Oh, wait, no, it is hitting the reset. The reset's false. That's fine. So, can I put a condition on this real quick? Uh, Reset equals true. Which is weird. I feel like I should be able. I should actually probably talk to Matthias about that. Like, I feel like I should be able to just do reset. Like, that should be the condition. Like, reset. Let's see if that works. It does work. Yes! Ryder wins again. Okay. So now we're going to do this. We're going to do step in, select, did nothing. So yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Or maybe I didn't put a breakpoint at the right place, but we'll figure that out too. So for the moment, what we'll do is this. We'll do for each. And also, this is exactly how the person who's facing this issue says that they think that this should be fixed. So I'm explicitly fixing it the way that they think it should be fixed, so that I can try and find, so that we can try and find a better way. Because, like, you know, when people are dealing with bugs, first things first, fix it, and then view model dot invoke I destructible. I don't even understand why you're giving me all this red squiggly stuff. So I'm gonna need you to. What do I need to wrap in bracers? It's already wrapped. Oh, I see what happened. I'm like, wait, what? There we go. All right, now I have less red. This whole line is gonna get deleted. View models. Possible null reference exception. So if it's not null, go ahead and do it. So let's debug the test again. Debug. And see what we get. No. Okay, so now you're not going to let me put the breakpoint where I want to put it. Aren't you special? Okay, so then I'll just go put the breakpoint in here and figure out when it actually gets hit. So you can jump in a lake, and now I get a passing unit test. Haha! Okay, so that's good. So let's do this. All right, so we've got a branch. Let's now we're going to run all our unit tests. Hopefully, I don't think we broke our public API. Let's hope we did not break our public API because those tests are freaking annoying to deal with. Yeah. I think I added that code on another branch. Yes, I did. Damn it. Oh no. Okay, well, it's gonna get put in at some point, so we're gonna go ahead and do this now. We're gonna go ahead and put this at the source though, so let's go ahead and find the source. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm playing with the file system. Stuff you don't want to see anyway. Shh, don't tell anybody. That's going to be the source directory. So we're just going to dump it directly in the source directory. Man, one of these days. One of these days. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're actually going to get really creepy here for a second. So here, we're going to cd into the source directory. We're going to touch xunit dot, was it xunit.runner.json? Yep, that's exactly what we call it, xunit.runner.json. Yeah, okay, great. Rodney's so good at these things. Like, I win so good at this stuff. Alright, so we're actually going to have to rename that stupid file because we don't know how to put... We don't know how to do things properly. Not a comma, but a period. Use.json, okay. So now we're going to go to the tests. We're going to do edit. And we're going to paste in some stuff. Place with target framework. Yeah, maybe it's not still broken. So now the tests should have this xunit.json runner. So we'll open that up. And what I realized the other week is that for whatever reason, this thing is running all of my tests, and we have a command line parameter to do it on the build server so that it doesn't do this, but locally it's just breaking everything. Do I have to save that file? I don't think so. I think it'll save it automatically. Okay, so now all my tests are green there and green there. Man, so I don't know if you're still there, Dan, but if you are, I actually need you to get me. I need you to show me how to use the that Xamarin Mock stuff, so that I can dig into getting more coverage on some of this stuff. I've seen it and I understand, like, okay, I get it, you can do XAML based stuff, but like I need to see how it, yeah, Xamarin Mocks. Yeah, Xamarin Mocks. I just need to figure out how to get more value out of it so I can do more testing. Xamarin.forms.mocks. Yeah, the one that isn't that Jonathan Peppers, right? That he does that? Come on, man. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah. Jonathan Peppers, Xamarin Forms. Yeah, this. You are killing me. You were just trying to make this difficult for me, aren't you? We should probably go into our own channel where we're doing things and stuff. And then we gotta go into our own stream. And then we're gonna go paste the thing. That thing. Yeah, but I feel like you also do some gnarly I feel like you do some gnarly XAML stuff too, or maybe it's just me. Like, cause I've looked at your code that where you're using it. I just, I don't know. I guess it breaks my brain. My little brain can't figure out simple things like mocking XAML. Okay, so dash m fix destroy push page with reset. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now at least we've got a fix. All right, so we got a fix for that now, but like, can we do better? So it took me a long time to get here to where the first time around, I fixed the problem, and then I try and make it better. I used to just jump into trying to make it the best I could be, and I would miss so many things along the way. So when I actually stopped and slowed down and took it step by step, I started to learn more. I don't feel like there is any better way other than us explicitly calling like the yeah. There's no real magic. Yeah, but okay, so I get that there's no real magic, but I feel like you do some like base app bootstrapping stuff that you would normally do on a Prism app, and that's where I think my brain loses it. Being fair, I have worked more with Prism recently than I had when I first looked at it. So it may be that I just need to go back and look at it, and like now because I have better context, I'll just be like, oh yeah, there, that's what he's doing. So I'll look at it again, and if I have questions, as you know, I will bother you and ask you, how do I do this, Dan? I have no idea what I'm doing. So again, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I think like the only other way to do this would be to explicitly invoke. Okay, 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 okay. Damn it. I know what I'm not doing. I know what I'm not doing, and I know what should be done, but I don't know if I want to do it. And I have had this conversation with myself a while back. So, looking at this interface, there's this. The way Sextant does navigation is we provide an instance of a Xamarin or of the platform's specific navigation page to you. So in Xamarin, it's a navigation page. In other platforms, it's other stuff. I think it's a navigation view in UWP, which we support. There's Blazor support is coming. Somebody submitted a pull request, and I've just been looking at it, trying to find if there's a better way to do it. And I've been trying to wrap my brain around Blazor. I will be honest, Blazor state change breaks my nonsense. I don't think that Dan stopped streaming. I think he's streaming at different times now. So he streams like at a time that's too early in the morning for me. So we just inject this iView, and then we let you kind of do the things. What I'm realizing now these days with navigation best push page. So okay. I do have access to it here. So like I was saying, one of the things that I'm leaving on the table is Xamarin Forms actually provides a number of um, platform level navigation events that I'm not tying into. So from a reactive perspective, yeah, Dan's been working on some super secret stuff. I don't know all about it, but he's mentioned a thing or two that things are coming down the pipeline. So we'll go ahead and give you a spoiler that Dan Siegel has been working on some new flavorful stuff. So you might want to tune in when he starts unveiling it, because I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty good. And again, I have not been privy to what it is that he's been working on completely. I just know that I know around what it's about, and yeah, yeah, it's right up my alley. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so I'm not tying into any of the Xamarin Forms platform navigation stuff, and I feel like in the future I'm going to want to, because there's value in that for me. But then it kind of couples the abstraction, and then I get other weird stuff. So like then every platform has to support those things, or I have to find some way that certain platforms can do it and other platforms can't, which is like, I don't really want to go that route. So I've got a branch where I've been playing with that, but this is a scenario where that would be helpful, because I could just explicitly raise the popped to root event and subscribe to it there. But I don't have that right now. So what I do have access to myself at that point, right? Because like right now I'm just doing it in the push when the push is happening. Where did it go? Where did my nice pretty code go? I went to the base class here. So this will at least happen everywhere. But I kind of want to. This is like a view concern in my mind, and now I'm gonna really put my foot in my mouth with something I said earlier where I didn't want to do this on the view. But I can actually very easily extend that feature now. I mean, now if it's now that it's useful. Um, let me pin some stuff and close some things. Pin that tab. So let's close all the pinned. Oh, great! I already have the navigation view. So really, what I could do is when I push page, yeah, because I'm already doing an if stack reset here anyway, and then I'm doing a push page on the observable. So Xamarin Forms doesn't allow us to do that. So now the question is, do I want... You know what? The more I look at this, it's just like, why don't I just explicitly invoke the flipping event? Because I have it. So let's see. I got navigation, which is what? Navigation dot... I don't explicitly want... No, then again, okay. Now that I think about that, I'm technically already explicitly subscribing to that event, yeah? Because like I have this here, so that means that this is going to... So now we're going to dig into Xamarin Forms all the way down the rabbit hole, yeah? Come on, give me access. Xamarin Forms platform. We'll just look at iOS for the moment. Oh, yeah, you're going to do that to me. Oh, no, you can't get access to the platform code. Does it just give me the proxy then? Can I get the proxy? Okay, the proxy will get me there. So the proxy gets me to this, which then I have the push page. This is on pop to root async. On pop to root should emit the pop to root event because there's a pop to root event arg. It's got to be somewhere on this. Give me the structure. You're going to give me the structure, and I'm going to figure this out. The structure is empty. This is the navigation proxy. Where on push navigation root, I do stuff. Okay, so this is inner. So then we do current inner. So further down the rabbit hole we go. Back to proxy. Now you're going to give me this. That. Now we've got pop to root inner, which says maybe now when I go to the platform. Nope, it's still going to tell me that the platform is no bueno. So then we'll do navigation proxy again. So now I think we're in an endless loop of ridiculousness. But nope. Maybe we're getting closer. All right. All the way down the rabbit hole to get to the fact that we are getting this event. So, what does that tell me? I don't want to subscribe to that event here. The better question is, and I think the better point is, in the Xamarin Forms specific stuff, and see, this is where like I wish I could take a dependency on pharmacist, but I can't take a dependency on something like pharmacist because this is a library. That screen flickering is probably gonna piss me off. This is a library, so library, I don't want... I guess I could technically do like private stuff, and that way you don't get the downstream, but you would still have to like have it, because we would do it at build time on the build server. The build server would have it. So yeah, okay, I could probably technically depend on pharmacists for this, and not expose the downstream. So I might do that. I might do that, and I might do that on a live stream so that we can all learn how to not break NuGet. Okay. So we'll do an event handler of the type pop to root event args. On the pop to root event args, we will give it yeah, we paused there for a second because I had to think about how I want to handle this. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. I did realize that, like, as I was saying it, I was like, yeah, I can't include it. I can include pharmacists and keep it out of the downstream. So I think I'll do that probably either another time or another day. But that'll severely reduce my overall nonsense. So if you have not seen Pharmacist, Pharmacist is this really interesting little library thing. Pharmacist does this really interesting magic. So you'll see that I have some boilerplate code here that I'm building, right? And in the spirit of hating to write so much boilerplate code, we attempt to not write the boilerplate code by abstracting the boilerplate code away. So what that in effect is going to do is we're going to bring in pharmacists so that we don't have to do all of this observable dot from event patterns stuff. But for the moment, I'm okay with doing it. I've actually gotten kind of used to doing this. But pharmacist will actually generate all of this stuff for you for any library that it finds in the NuGet cache that has event handlers. It will go ahead and it'll generate these things so that you could do like this dot from events or this dot events as a function, and it'll provide you an observable output. So if you hate boilerplate code, look at pharmacist because it reduces all of this code down to this dot events. So I reduce the amount of crap that I have to write drastically, which always makes me happy. Because as developers, we should try and write terse code, right? We should try and write code that reduces cognitive load for readers. Because even though we are seen as code writers, I will tell you honestly that I read more code on a given day than I write. And any developer that tells you otherwise is most likely a liar. I'm just like blanket calling people liars, right? Which is probably wrong. My grandmother would be so disappointed in me. She would probably say, Rodney, that's not right. You shouldn't do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right, Grandma. I should not do that. We're going to do pop to root equals x. So even if we just do it internal to the Xamarin Forms view, I think this has value because I want to get it closer to where it... Oh, wait, no. No. Because then I would have to explicitly do this, call this on the binding context, yeah? Oh, man, he might get his cake and get to eat it too off of this one. Because he's right. Like, I could very easily just do this right here in the view. So then the question becomes, from a separation of concerns perspective, where's the right place to do it? But I'll save that for later and worry about that when we don't know what we're doing anymore, which is probably going to be coming up here real soon. So you're going to now tell me that this doesn't work because pop to root requested is an event handler of navigation. Oh, because I'm doing requested. I'm not trying to do it requested. I want that it actually happened. Why are you being smarter than me? Pop to root event args, event handler, pop to root event args, pop to root event args. Oh. Pop to popped. Past tense. Still no? So this is what I love about it. How far down the rabbit hole did we have to go just to find where Xamarin Forms was doing that? Yeah, we had to go all the way down the rabbit hole. We're gonna go back down this rabbit hole, and we are gonna find that spot. What are we doing? Control F12. Come on. You are good at this. Let's go to this. right? And we're just going to keep going down this rabbit hole till we get back to find exactly what that thing was doing. No, we don't want the Sextant implementation. We want to see where that's used in the proxy. Pop to root async. That'll just call that. Then we'll call the implementation. Now we're back to the implementation that calls the owner. The owner does the thing. We do pop to root async inner. Pop to root async inner is going to do pop to root requested, which is of type navigation requested event args, and then pop to root is of type navigation event args, even though okay, so it's casting it out. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I get consistency, but like if you're gonna give it a specific event. All right, man. Have a good night, Dan. Thanks for joining. I appreciate your time and your attentiveness. This really aggravates me. I'm sure that so I say why would you do this? I say why would you do this with no context, right? I'm looking at a decompiled assembly. I do not know. What I do know is this is not ideal for what I want because now I have to cast it. But at the same time, that's okay because whoever did this in context did it in context for a reason. So I am not the person that needs to sit here and complain about it. I am this person that needs to sit here and figure out how to solve my problem. So what we're saying is the handler is actually going to take a navigation event args, right? Let's go back and pin this. We're gonna pin an external dependency so that we let's do close all but pinned. It stays. Yay, we're happy. All right, pop to root event handler is of this type. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll go ahead and play the game only as far as we want, though. Can we do a cast here? No, we can't. It's gonna take in the navigation handler. It's gonna pass back the handler. Oh, I'd have to do a hard cast here. I guess that's fine because like it's the event handler is typed. So if I have to do a args. Okay, now you're gonna tell me that what? So it's selecting out the binding context. So the handler actually takes in an object. So my handler is taking in a popped to event args. What are you telling me? You are telling me that my styling is off, which is fine. All right, so really here all I want to do is like do a dot subscribe. And then I can do stuff here. What stuff can I do here though? We ask. Well, let me tell you what we can do. First off, we need to get our styling back right because this is just horrendous. This is not returning anything. So opening braces should not be followed by blank lines. Yeah, we're not going to fill in with blank lines. So what is this underscore? Underscore is the event args. So we'll call that the argument. So we'll call that the argument, and then we'll do something like argument. Argument dot pages popped dot select x dot binding context. Can I get the binding context out? I can get the binding context out. I can then take the binding context and cast it to what? I can't cast it. I can cast it to an iView 4, which gives me access to the view model, which we'll do. So I'll cast it as an iView. Oh, no, 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 no. I can only think I need to cast it. I can actually just do this. I can just do binding context dot invoke action of I destructible here. X dot destroy. We'll do the select, we'll do the destruction, and now this is a way we can do it. Now this is owning disposables that it needs to dispose of, so now I technically should make this, if it's not already, maybe navigation page is already iDisposable. Huh? Who knows if it's iDisposable? I would assume that there's an iDisposable somewhere, right? And how is the easiest way to do that? If we just do like override. Okay, so we just do like here, we just do override dispose. Nope. Hey.
Hey.
Um.
Wanted you to pick your dinner.
Apologies, my wife just walked in, and just earlier this week somebody showed me this thing on Amazon where you can get like a light up light, and I was like, yeah, I should get that so that you can see that I'm busy and not walk in while I'm in the middle of like being on calls and blah blah blah, and of course live streaming. So there's that. Anyway, apologies for that, folks. Thanks for bearing with me. Where were we? We were looking at whether or not this override, so it doesn't, but we can still call it in the disappearing of the navigation view. Which, I mean, I guess part of it doesn't matter, but part of it is also like, yes, it kind of does matter to me because I want to be a good steward of these things. So, um, let's figure that one out. How do we make that better? Yeah. So if it's a hard crash, it'll. Or, but this is specifically doing a pop to root event handler, so that'll be fine. That means I'm just responsible for casting it out every time. I can just select every single binding context, and then just call the destroy method on the binding context. So now that we're here and we're looking at this, like he's right. There's really no reason for me to not do it on the page as well, but I feel like that's a page level concern that should be handled on the page. So, we don't know what we are doing. The important part is we fixed the bug, I think. right? But the question is now, can we do it better? So let's now take that other bad code out from here, right? And let's see if our unit test still passes. Because if our unit test talking, if our unit test still passes, that proves to us that the code is at least correct. Where do we put that test, smart people? We didn't put it in the destructible because destructible is testing just destructible. We put it in the push page, right? And we're gonna should call destroy if navigation stack resets. So now iView4, we'd have to explicitly set that up for the iView4 to go do that. But we have this navigation view where we already, no, that's the actual Sextant navigation view. I'm talking about the mock. So we've got a mock. Do I have a mock navigation view? I do have a navigation view mock. So I think I would just have to do the same thing. Navigation view mock would have to. So, okay, this is where having that Xamarin Forms mocks would probably be really flippin' helpful. Okay, so now I'm seeing how that's a thing. All right, so I don't even think I can test this now, but we'll run it anyway and see what happens because I have a feeling this is gonna break. Ugh, it's gonna break because of this. Yep, I know. So this is one of the things like, oh, you're here to troll? You just missed Dan. Like Dan literally just left about 5-10 minutes ago, and I'm over here breaking things, just for the sake of breaking things. Chase has come to join us. Chase Flora, welcome. Thanks for joining us and and laughing at our pain. Should call receive, and it did not. So based on the way this is written right now, there's probably no way to accurately test this. Unless... Okay, yes there is. Yes there is. There's always a way to test something, right? It's just like, there's always a way to test. So it's funny, I'm actually fixing a bug that somebody found while testing in production. So you test what you can, and then you accept the fact that eventually you're going to have to test in production. Because production is the only real environment. Everything else is just staged. Okay. So when we call pop to root page, all right, so push stack do page push stack stack push, okay. So we would want to do this here, right? So we would have to do like a if statement and say, now we're getting into writing a whole bunch of code for the sake of the fact that we have to write some code. We're going to go ahead and put this underscore, let's call it popped to root equals observable dot. Do we want to do observable dot create? I don't think we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Let's just go down the path. Because we were talking about this earlier. So like hot observables versus cold observables, which I am going to do a live stream on at some point. But Dave Sexton wrote an amazing article on the subject. And I have read it about 2 or 3 times and I'm still trying to digest it. So until I can fully digest that and talk well about it, I don't really want to go down that path and break the world. So let's do popped. Oh wait, what type of observable is that? That's an observable of popped to root event args. So yeah, so I don't want to but like this is here basically creating a cold observable. Ooh, is the package not installed anywhere in the? Please tell me that I'm not doing this just to be fun and to cause problems. Because then I would have to. Okay, yeah, because yeah, okay. I don't even think this depends on Xamarin Forms right now. Nope, it doesn't, and it doesn't need to. So we are gonna put this down here in the tests. But then like creating a mock. What's the point in creating the mock? Well, right now this is a reusable across everything. So maybe I bring in Xamarin Forms and explicitly do like a Xamarin Forms navigation view. That seems really, really ugly. What other ugly things do we not want to do? How else can we properly handle this? All right, I'll worry about being proper later. For the moment, I'm just going to add the stupid dependency. Manage manugets. Forms. Oh, I probably need to go do that too. Like Xamarin Forms 4.7 dropped. Hey, I'm getting really important text messages. Apologies, folks. These are things that I unfortunately have to respond to. Sunday, what time? Okay. I'm just gonna do this for now and be a bad developer just because I want to prove that it actually works. So we'll do underscore pop to root equals new. Oh wait, okay. Observable dot create. Well, apparently we already had that, so we'll do that. Now this should just bring in. No, we should just be able to do a save. Oh. No. We don't want to bring Xamarin Forms into the mocks. It has to be the same one of the version of reactive UI that we're depending on right now. I think we're depending on, I think it's 4.6. This is gonna drive a monkey wrench in all my stuff. Oh, there we go. We're just not looking at the right view. Sextant is currently depending on 4. Okay, so I need to go back and make those changes. I'll do that tonight after I get off stream. So in the edit this here, we're just actually going to go ahead and edit it. Why does it add this when it doesn't need to? So I'm going to repurpose this item group. And we're going to do a package reference. We're going to say the package reference. We want to include Xamarin Forms, and we want the version to be 4.5. Which is in line with everything else. Yeah, okay. So now we've got that. Project restored in 3, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's happy there. Now I get this nice little thing. So I'll just be a better developer another day. Observer. Today I'm going to be a bad developer. And then we'll do... This is going to do something dot, and it's going to subscribe, right? So this would mean anytime somebody subscribes to it, it would tick a value. On the actual navigation view, that'll be fine because we're actually subscribing to it. So that's why we actually need... Okay. Damn it. All right, so this is what I'm doing. And I'm not actually going to ever use the observer, which is weird. But I'm going to do return disposable.empty. What does create give me? Does create give me the ability to pass in what? Just an action. I don't really want to pass in an action. Empty is fine. Delete that. Arguments. Okay, so what am I missing? So this is an observer of that type. Okay. So this is where I usually step back and punt and just create a subject, but I'm trying to be better at life. So what would I do here? Like, how would this change? Because, like, this is an observer, and I want the observer to observe the thing. All right, so for now, we'll just go ahead and do a return. And then we'll get into what that looks like later. All right, so we've got an observable popped to root. Oh, I get. See, yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Okay, yep. Rodney's just gonna go ahead and be another. I'm just gonna continue to be a bad developer for the rest of the day because subject. This might even need to be a behavior subject, but I'm gonna again get to that. We're actually going to call the subject pop to root. And then we're going to say popped to root dot as observable. And then we're going to do the subscribe that we, okay, so here we go. So now we're going to do the subscribe copy. And we're going to do this thing, that, arguments. This is going to become arguments. Right, we need to do the select, import select. We're not going to need that. That's going to go there. Argument popped to root. Nullable field popped to root is uninitialized. Consider declaring field is nullable. Are you done with this? You better get out of here with that nonsense. Okay. That will ensure that the functionality exists in the mock page, right? So now all I have to do is take this subject and back over here where I do if reset, I'm going to have to do the same. So this is where mocks really start to aggravate me because you end up implementing so much of the stuff you already implement. So it's like you're testing the code, but it's like you're also testing a whole bunch of extra stuff too that you're not really wanting to test. So we are going to take this entire chunk of code and we're going to put it into our mock. And we're going to say if page stack dot count equals 0, page stack dot push, because it's an actual stack, and we're gonna hey what is that underscore oh okay, we're gonna push view model, right? I'll figure that part out in a second because that's not right. Okay. Then here we're going to do a whole bunch of, I don't want to do any of that. Okay, here we can just do dot clear and then we can do Yeah, all this is happening inside the reset anyway. Right, so here we're just gonna, okay, we're just gonna clear it, and then we're just gonna push all the pages. We're gonna push the new view model on. I feel like this is determining whether or not that's supposed to. Yeah, I get you. So do this here, and then return observable dot create disposable dot empty. No, disposable dot empty. That's just going to be of type unit. Oh, probably going to need that to be an underscore. Oh no. That needs that. What are you complaining about? What do you mean the return type is void? Oh, okay. Sure. Oh, because I'm doing all of this in a do statement. That's why this is weird. Okay. All right, so I'm going to clear the stack. I'm going to push the new page onto the stack. Oh, I'm going to repeat myself. That's going to piss me off too. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and clear the stack. We'll go ahead and push the view model onto the stack. And then we're going to do... We're not actually going to return anything. We're just going to do... Oh, no, we can't do clear. We can't do clear unless does clear give us access to... Clear does not give us access to everything. So we want to do... Okay, so let's do this. Pop. Dot. Pop. Okay, so I can do like a do. I can do. Oh God, I can do like a while loop while it's still got value. While it's not clear. While count is greater than. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do. While. Underscore page stack dot count is greater than 0. I mean, greater than 0, greater than equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0. No, that's not going to... You're not smarter than me. Stop trying to be smarter than me. Pop. Because this is actually manipulating it. So what you don't get is I'm actually going to be manipulating you every time. And then I'm going to push it onto the thing. So I'm going to do like... Let's try this. All right, we're going to do var args equals new pop to root event args. It's going to take in a page. So we're just going to give it some new page. Oh. Boo. That's why. All right. I think I've hit a wall that I don't want to climb over at this point in the evening. It's Friday night, and I think a beer is in order because I think I've earned it this week. Chase, if you're still listening, I actually did finally get that last view model back RX'd. So man, was that a an exercise? And do you really understand RX? And then here we would do underscore popped subject dot on next, and that would be whatever this argument is that we are building. So we would have to do this outside. No, that would be arg. And now this is going to be oh. Okay. This would be a list of pages. List of type page, right? Pages equals new list of pages, right? That's simple. Okay. And now every time we pop, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do pages.add underscore page stat. Or wait, no, pop gives us the last value, right? Yeah, okay, pop is gonna give it to us. So we'll do this. We will do var pop equals that. This would be so much easier if I wasn't tired. There's no way I can even cast that. So pages would just be like, yeah, I just want the binding context. You know what? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just make it easy on myself. Yeah. And hide implementation details behind the abstractions. Because really what I want is the binding context. So I could really just do kind of the same thing I'm doing here, which I think is not a bad idea. We'll do this, which now we'll do args dot, oh goodness, okay. We need to, all the casts and none of the guilt. Popped pages. Dot cast as I view model. Pages pop dot select x dot binding context, and then cast that out. So that's now extremely verbose. To the point I really think I should do this. I should do this. Nope. You know what? I'm going to leave it just like it is. See, here we go. Here we go. We will do the proper formatting of the stuffs. Right? So that becomes... Alright, so binding context. Now we just have an argument object. And that object is going to actually be a list of... It's going to be an IEnumerable of iView model. Yeah? So now we can just do That hides a lot of my implementation details, makes it so that I can do this internally to the navigation page. And if I explicitly wanted to expose this back out, I could. This is not a bad go at it. Okay. That becomes iView model. That becomes iView model. This becomes, now I'm going to do pages, which I have now changed my page popped observable to just be, ooh, that gets weird. That gets weird. This gets extremely awkward. Okay. Because I still have to new up this. Or do I? Like, now the navigation view. Okay, so so from a mocking perspective, is this really even smart to do this? So on the one hand, we've got this. But really, what is this? Okay, in the actual navigation view, now we've got an event handler that returns an INormal view models. So this actually becomes a subscription to an I. Yeah, so then, yeah, okay, so then, yeah, this just becomes page popped subject. Instead of pop to root event args, this becomes IEnumerable of type I view model, right? Which then this becomes the same. So let's go ahead and do the thing all over the place, right? So now when we do pop to root dot select, this just becomes select. I don't need the binding context anymore. Okay, so now these two things look alike. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Sesame Street, yeah. I don't know if you watched Sesame Street as a kid, but I did, like, a lot. All right, page popped is now pages. Popped subject. This should. Why do I have two? Why do I have two things that are doing the exact same thing? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's get rid of that. Nope. We aren't getting rid of that. We are going to come down here and fix some things. This is not going to be that. That's going to be this, actually. Yep. And then we're going to push a page. Okay. Now this is looking almost like real code. Xamarin Forms doesn't allow us. We don't need to put that comment in there. This is going to do the thing. So it's going to push the new view model. It's going to do pages on next. Boom. So now we've basically constructed the ability for us to replace expression with true. New. It's not realizing that. Okay. So we're going to open our unit test back up. We're going to come over here with, instead of doing an I substitute for iView model, we're going to do with new mock. We're going to run this again and assume that we're going to get a truth value. Pop to root, but is disposed, but disposed called on the field. Contains. What are you yelling at me about? You're telling me that it's never disposed? You're acting like I care about disposing of these things. Like, let's be serious. Why do we care? It's just memory. Memory's cheap. Yeah. Alright, so that's gonna go up here. And now I'm going to go run that test again. I was like, if it green lights, I'm going to be impressed with myself. Operation, invalid operation exception. Empty stack. Greater than, so it had to be greater than 0. This is where I need smart people to tell me, hey, Rodney, your truth value is broken. Now I should not get an invalid blah, blah, blah exception. Okay, okay. This is progress. Go to the implement. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, because I'm not actually calling the destroy, so that's fine. That's not what I want. I want this, which I've already got a breakpoint there. So if I debug the thing, oh, we already know that that's not going to hit that. So then what are we missing? Oh, I think I realize what I've done. We're just here. We're just okay. We're not even. Okay, let's just go ahead and debug. See what happens. And then we're gonna call it a night. Take a quick commercial break and see what the rest of the world is doing. Add popped. Okay, so it's adding the popped. Okay, so now it's got pages, has 3 pages, so it's gonna do the tick. It's gonna tick the observable. Did we not get it? Did we not get the subscription though? Hold on, wait a minute. We didn't get the subscription on the pop to root, which may very well be our problem. No, this should get called. Okay. Debug it again. Pages. The add popped. Okay, so it's good. So we know that's gonna work, right? So then this becomes count 3. ID. Okay, that's the everything. So everything is on there, right? So we see the everything view, so it was there. So then this happens. Ooh, you see what I did? You see how smart I am? Do you see? Oh man, I see how smart I am. So now we are going to give this some context. E gets view models. Yep, and then we're going to do view models dot. We're just going to go ahead and do for each. So we're going to do for each on view models. Call it view model, and we'll do view model dot invoke this thing. Go away, go away, go away, go away. All right, so now we should actually get a green light, actually. So, okay, here we go. So we're just gonna run it because now we expect it. Yep, now we expect a green light. Okay, so we have another way of doing it. So I've got 2 ways to solve the bug. This way actually gives me way higher fidelity into certain things. Had to write a lot of mock code to get that to work, and that doesn't really make me happy. But we at least got to see some observable stuff tonight. I've got some other things that I want to explicitly want to stream on, but this week was kind of rough for me at work, and I needed something quote unquote simple to stream on. But I want to keep cadence of streaming, even though I'm tired, even though it's Friday, even though I want a beer. I figure it's probably better. So I think that's all I've got for today. We'll go ahead and break here. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe.